Jesus said, "I thirst." There was a time long ago when the same man asked me to give him a drink. He was a stranger to me then. We met at Jacob's well, and he asked me for a drink of my water. Imagine, a Jewish man asking me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink of water. The Jews will hardly look upon a Samaritan, much less speak to one. But the odd thing was, it was not he who was thirsty, really. I was the thirsty one. I was parched and dry, just as he is now. My life had drained out of me long before the day I met him, and he asked me for a drink. That was the day that transformed my life. No, that was the day when my life began. You see, I'd always thought I was living full and thrilling life because I had everything that made life worth living. A home, possessions, a proud Samaritan heritage, and a man, and before that, 5 husbands. What could be livelier than that? 5 husbands. Imagine, you'd think I was a fountain of happiness, the way men flocked about me. But inside, deep inside, where only God can see, I was drier than the sands of Sodom and Gomorrah, and I was just as empty of life. He saw it too, and yet he asked me for a drink. I laughed at him. After all, Jews just don't ask Samaritans for anything. It would be like a hen asking a weasel for directions to a local bird bath. He answered me with a very odd statement. He said that I should be asking him for water, living water. Again, I laughed at him, for he had nothing to draw water with. I asked him, "Where can we get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did the sons and his flocks and herds?" I told you, I have a proud Samaritan heritage, and I wanted him to know it too. But the way things turned out, I didn't need to tell him who I was. He already knew. It was as if he'd known me since the day I was born, or maybe even before that. He told me everything I ever did. Imagine, everything I ever did. It was then that I thought he must be a prophet. So I asked him the great question, the one that separates the Samaritans and the Jews. The question of worship. Shall we worship God on the mountain, as the Samaritans claim, or shall we worship him as the Jews do in Jerusalem? I thought I would have the answer at last. A definite answer from a prophet of God, Jerusalem or the mountain. I was willing to accept his answer as if from the mouth of God himself, the mountain or Jerusalem. Neither. His words were alarming. They pierced my soul like an arrow. How could the argument that had kept Samaritans and Jews apart for all of these generations suddenly be disposed of in a single word? Neither, he said. God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship him in spirit and in truth. I was so confused I didn't know what to say. I told him that Messiah, called Christ, is coming, and that when Messiah comes, he will explain all of this. Messiah will put an end to the argument and confusion. Messiah will bring us the peace we long for. I who speak to you am he said. Just then, his disciples arrived, so I ran into town and brought everyone back that I could find. "Come and see a man who told me everything I ever did," I told them, and they came. Hundreds of them came, and they listened to his words, just as I had. We urged him to stay and teach us more. He stayed for 2 more days and filled our thirsting souls with living water. That was where I met him, at Jacob's well, my Messiah, my Savior. He thirsts now. He is parched and dry. He has taken the need of the whole world so that we may not